people often ask me what are good studies to do, what is good for you to get into your system, what is good information that you can use as a sponge and then also get power and knowledge out. So this can be that you did do this education by yourself, or you just will do this as out of a hobby sense, and then you pursue something different. But sales is very important because it has the psychology of what is happening in a sales process. And you might think, okay, sales is not live, and you might be right. But a lot of things involve selling them, and I will demonstrate. So sales could be that if you're buying a car, a house, some tools, whatever. And if you know that, this can help, of course. If you know the process, you can, when you are buying, you know what the salesman is trying to convey, and you can interact upon that and use that to your advantage. So you can use it as negotiating skills. That's one point. Another point is you will also be selling yourself. Being an employee, you will be selling yourself to your employer. If you're self-employed, you will sell your product to customers. Also, when you're an employee, you're in the interaction with customers, you will also sell the product of your employer to customers. So please get this into your system that is a lot wider. Also, when you have human interactions, for example, if you dating, you're selling yourself to the date. You will also get to know what the date has to offer. But next to sales are also not one-dimensional. A lot of people, and even salesmen, will think sales is about me selling something to the other party. And they are right in one way, but wrong in another. And where do they go wrong? It's not a one-sided that you only are getting money from the other side and they are not getting anything, because this will stop. You should pursue something different. You should pursue a win-win situation. And why is that? If you do that, you will convey value, and the value that you convey will prompt the buyer to buy the product that you have, the service that you have, the date to get a relationship with you, because they understand what is it that makes you special, that makes your product special. What's the value that you can add to the life of others? That's one thing. The other thing is, if you add value, you also will have return sales. So a lot of people will focus on the primary sale, and that's of course nice, but they forget that a lot easier to sell is the second time, because if you have proven your value, it's very easy to get a return sale. A lot of people, when they are in need of money, also Andrew Tate mentions this, if they are in need of money, they can either get a loan, or they can just contact their earlier customers and see if they can get a return sale. And they say, okay, we offer you this and that, please look into this. So that's a very important skill to have. Next time we will discuss different things that are also of importance for you and could add value to your life. Hope this helps. Founder in Car out. So another Founder in Car, and this is in the series. It's in the Bart. It's in the series of studies or information that can really help you. And last time we discussed sales and how that can help you in life, and the information and skills that you learn there. But today we will discuss history. And history, you might ask. History, that's such a dusty topic. It's ancient, and oftentimes history can go back a long time. It can even go back to the ancient times. I'm now sitting before a railway crossing, but that also has a benefit. And that benefit is something that we want to exploit. And why is that? Because from history you can learn lessons. And by learning those lessons you don't have to overcome them yourself, because other people already have succeeded or failed, and those lessons can then be conveyed upon you. So you know what in the past led to, for example, innovations, but also led to conflicts, solved conflicts, etc. And also what it brought in terms of wealth, innovation, for example the Industrial Revolution, what it brought, but also the drawbacks that came with it. And that helps you to place the things that you want to do now into that context. You also know what is a driving force for people, oftentimes entire nations, to be moved. And by doing this research you will also know with quite a high certainty what works and what does not work. And by adding that to the innovation that you perhaps have in your own mind, and also combine it, but also see how it fares up to the earlier innovations in the field, but also in the human nature, what really drives human nature and was successful or a failure. And that helps. Also, there's another very important lesson that you can learn from history, because history is quite universal. And what that tells us is the following. If you know a historical fact that illustrates the purpose that you are after, for example, you try to sell something and you can illustrate this with an historic context, why this is of importance to add to the company products that they have. So your product really makes a difference. And you give an historical example, then they either know it or they can look it up and learn from that. And then they say, of course, this was inspiring. This is something that really makes a difference. This is also universally accepted. And they will buy into the service, the product, the value that you are proposing. You will bring a broader context even to a very innovative product. You will give it a foundation to be placed upon. And by giving a foundation to be placed upon, you have this added feature. A third thing is that oftentimes development or relationships or interactions all start at one point. And by knowing history, you will have something that is helping you to cross the border, in the sense that you know something that is interesting to other people because they see the universal value, or they already know part of it and they can interact in a discussion. So you will have interaction, and interaction can lead to a lot more actions that will follow up. So for example, you can start a good conversation. Becomes, can then mature in something more, a relationship, a business partner, it could be you become a friend, or all of the above. But there is something that you have that is universally intertwined or has latching points where you can make your relationship more tight. So that's the lesson to convey. So last time we discussed sales, this time we discuss history. So another founder in car, this is in the series of science, understanding, education, knowledge that can be beneficial to you. Sorry for that. So education, lessons, information can be of value for you in life. And first we discuss sales, second we discuss history, and now we will talk about biology. And Why is biology of importance? Because we are all biological beings. So if you understand human biology, or sometimes also if you're more down to earth, if you're, for example, a farmer, it's also very interesting that you understand biology of the plants that are surrounding you, but also that of the animals that you interact with. Biology is something about life, and we are all living life. So biology and understanding biological rhythms, biological interaction will really help. If you have a product, but you understand what the biological trigger is for buying that product, or understanding that product, or wanting to get more knowledge about this product, what's there the trigger? That could be a very good thing. Same about colors. If you're negotiating and you understand the biology of colors and what they are telling you, that red has a different attitude than green or blue, you can work with that and have that in your system. If you understand the biology of men and females, men and women, so if you know what attracts men, what is of importance to men, if you understand what's attractive to women, what's of importance to human, what's the biological driver, this will help you a lot. So for example, biology, men and women. Oftentimes it's as simple as this. Men want women to stay the same, and that is often a cozy wife that looks attractive and is nice to talk to and will make a house, a home, will be there for the children, will be still be able to also have children. This is often a big trigger, also why older men still pursue younger females. And then for a female, they want security, they want social status, they want to have finance, all to be added to them and the offspring they might produce. So that's of importance to them. Also, if you're fit, this is important for the men and women, this will attract that you're of higher value. You're able to reproduce, you will give those traits, those fitness traits, those dedication you also have to. Therefore you are fit oftentimes because you put the work in to the next generation. You will also be not be just slouching. You will there and bring home the bacon. This could be of big importance to women, that you bring the security, but also to men, that you're not just sitting on your behind and watching soaps, but you really do something, and that you also are there and you put effort in the relationships. So just an example of biology. Another thing to take into consideration, biology is universal. So if you're able to convey the message across and you can illustrate this with a biological fact or synergy that is similar than that of biology. Also, for example, I mentioned synergy. If you look in nature, oftentimes you see that two species are helping each other. This can be fishes that seek protection from a shark. So a shark normally eats fishes, but some fishes will be left alone. And those fishes seek protection from the shark. They also get food from the shark because they take the rotting meat and other parts. They will take care of the wounds of a shark that they engage when they interact with the prey or with each other. And they will tend to them so that they eat away the rotting flesh. And that gives them a source of feed, but also a source of protection. And what brings it to the shark? The shark has someone that is protecting them, even though they are so little. And how do they do that? Because they keep them in good, fit shape, fighting shape, and by doing so, they interact with each other in a very interesting way. So that's also what you can see in women and men. They both have synergetic effects. If you look at the bodies, they can be fit like puzzle pieces, but also women can do a lot of things that men cannot do as good, or the other way around. And by thinking that they all should be the same, you will limit the synergetic effects that are biologically there. So please take that into consideration as well. Biology will also help you because, for example, if you tell them something, how the situation is, then you say, it's like a lamb going into a herd of wolves. An example. Everyone will know what a pack of wolves, so not a herd, sorry, a pack of wolves will do with a lamb. And if you demonstrate it like that, they understand that is not a safe way to approach it. It could be their product, could be the safety of someone who you love, for example your daughter or your son, that you keep them away from danger by illustrating these important facts. And that's of big meaning and interaction. Hope this helps. We'll be back the next time with another topic. Founder in Car out. So another Founder in Car, this is the education part. Could be that you will pursue a formal education that can benefit you, or you could just get the information into your system that you are broader and you know a lot more things from your own perspective. And this time the topic is economics. So earlier we talked about sales, history, biology, and now we talk about economics, and especially economics that help you understand how to take care of yourself and understand money and the monetary system that we're living in. So economy, you could be very good in the economy, but you might not be as good in using money. Because you understand the processes, but you do not understand the bigger process where everything fits in. So I will focus at the bigger process, and that of course will intertwine a regular economy, but will also go beyond. So so why is this of importance? It's of importance because we all need money and understand the economy of skill, but also economy of interaction to work in the world where we are living. So in earlier times it was a trade society, but now everything is almost traded with monetary units, and that monetary units are just translated as money. It could be different currencies, but still money. So you need to understand how this works and how you should act with money as well, so that you should not spend more that you're making. You can also invest in something that is a liability, so it will take money away from you. Could be nice for your pleasure, but you can also invest in something that's an asset, so that's something that makes money, adds value, and that's something that brings home the bacon, instead of letting you use your bacon, your hard-earned dollars and euros and what have you of currency, but will be then a liability and will still cost you money to maintain instead of adding money to your situation. And you can also, if you know that, you can still buy liabilities, but you will do this more in a balanced way, and you will also seek out assets, and those assets that you're seeking out will help you become a better person. Why? Because you're less dependent, and being less dependent will make you a more real person, because you will do the things that need to be done instead of doing them because you act out of fear, because you need this money, and therefore you compromise the things that you really want to do in favor of just being compliant. And that's a bad thing. Being compliant is a bad thing. It can help you get to a function or maintain a function, but that's not really you. You're acting your part instead of being yourself. self and where your true value often lies. So you need to understand this, and by doing so, economy is also about trading. Something you will give and something you will receive. It's the same with interactions in life. For example, a relationship. If you are only taking, this will not be sustainable. You will deploy the source of takings that you're taking, and the relationship will halt, or the other person will be spent. But if you also give them, you build them up, you will increase the ability to give in the longer time frame, and you also will keep the relationship good, and everyone will be happy. It will be a win-win situation, which is also of great importance, of course. And economy, also the wider things, you need to understand that money is often used as a tool to manipulate. So by knowing this in a wider sense, that it's a tool to manipulate, you can also make you less fragile, so less dependent on money, external money, but also less willing to be manipulated, because you can counter those manipulations, you can defend yourself against those. And you can also defend yourself against a system where people is just being used as cattle to produce money for other people. And that way you can understand how you can keep the assets, also the money, more to yourself without having to make other people only rich. You can also profit from it yourself, your hard work. And that's also how God intended it, that you will have your own trees that produce, for example, figs or something else that you really like, of high value. Figs had a good sugary content, nice taste. Or for example, grapes, and those are very nice to consume yourself or make wine out of, the better things of life. And also you understand that if you're only renting things, the economy that they are now pursuing is that you don't have anything yourself, but you only rent them, you will not own anything. Sorry. So the new economy is it's directed at people not owning anything but just renting everything if they need it. But without ownership they can be manipulated to the fullest extent. If someone is not going to rent something to you anymore because they are triggered one way or another, you will be in deep doo-doo. While if you're the owner yourself, you're less able to be manipulated. Also, by renting a home, you will pay the owner of the home to get his home mortgage free. That's another way that you can look at it. And last but not least, it could be very wise to rent a home if you want flexibility. But you need to make these decisions all the time. And perhaps you rent a home and you have an asset that produces your rent and you live rent free. That's also a great way to look at it. But if you understand how people are being exploited in the economy system, because that is what it is, it's a very bad thing, but it is what it is, you can help yourself become less vulnerable. Hope this helps. Founder Car out. Founder in Car, this is the education series, so education that you could pursue, that has benefits for you, but also knowledge that you can just get into your system even if you have a different education. So we talked about earlier about sales, history, we talked about biology and economy, and now we will talk about physics. And why is physics of importance? Because physics is how the world is working. It's an interaction of forces against each other. It also has a lot of benefits to understand, because it also includes a lot of mathematics, But especially all those forces that are working together are interacting, that's also how the world works. So if you understand physics, you will also understand a lot how the world is working. And you can also see if you change something, for example, just an easy example, if you're able to increase the leverage that you have, the force that you are able to add to a system might be the same, but the effect will be different because you have added leverage. And by adding leverage, you are also able to add resulting force at the end, because the force here is just this, but with all that leverage, the force there could be like that. And that's something that is really of big importance. It's just one illustration that gives you insight why physics is such an important force. Also, you can use this to demonstrate to others why we should work this way. For example, the example that I gave, how we can leverage the situation in that way that we will be successful, even though our power is quite limited. And that is of big importance. Same with relationships. You know that you have force. You have two similar forces to keep it in a situation. So if you're the only person that adds to the relationship, it will not sustain. If the other one is just slacking and doing nothing, you will push it over and the relationship will oftentimes not be the same or even end. So also the other way around, you will not only take from a situation but also give. So the opposing forces, and that's the main topic about physics, are of importance. Also about safety. You know, if you understand physics, you also understand that you should not jump off a very high, for example, a skyscraper, because you will not survive, because gravity will pull you and you have a lot of time. Whereas if you do just a jump from a small stairs, you will be perfectly fine. So please take this into consideration, that this is a very good education to get. Also Elon Musk, he will tell you that physics, being an engineer, is of great importance to see where the problems are. See what is the obstruction, how you can apply the force, how to get the obstruction moving away, and then you can just pursue your goal. Hope this helps. Foundry Car out.